have you here. Wish we could be talking under better circumstances, but we're here. As we know in this industry, many times you just got to roll with it. And that's what we're going to try to find the positive and the silver linings. We'll get into some of the good. We'll talk about some of the things that could be a little bit better, areas that the union can definitely make adjustments. Plus, we'll talk about what's going on internationally. We've got Euros, we've got Copa America, we've got other crazy stories around the MLS that are happening, unfolding. But Dave, let's get into you first before we even talk about the team, because I think it's helpful for people to know even more about the man behind the voice and who you are. And the fact that you've been with the union for many years. Yeah. How did this start? How did this marriage between you and the Philadelphia Union start? Take us back to the beginning.
Yeah, so no, I appreciate the question. So it all began in 2016. Initially brought on to be in a kind of a dual role as the voice of Bethlehem Steel FC, which you guys know, now called Union 2, the Union's second team. Mm-hmm. So I did all the second team games on TV play-by-play with the time with former Union player Matt Castle. Shout out Matt out there if you're watching. Yeah, Matt's a great guy. And so we did the games from Lehigh University at Goodman Stadium. So in addition to that, calling all their home matches, I did the Union pregame and halftime, and if we had postgame as well with Marissa Pilla for a number of years, and we had a blast. So it was a great role in the beginning because I got to see the guys coming up from the second team and trying to break in with the first team. Been training with both the second team and the first team, and then being there with our commentators, JP Dellacamera, and we had Peter Pappas on color. We've had Tommy Smith, Danny Higginbottom, and some others that have gotten into the mix too. And then stepping in over time for JP doing play-by-play on television. And then when the Apple TV deal hit, just fast forwarding over time, Sebastian and I have actually been doing radio play-by-play since the 2020 MLS is Back tournament. I don't know if a lot of people realize that because there were no local TV broadcasts during the COVID year. Remember, they played in Disney. We did the games from Subaru Park off the monitor, but doing a radio call. And then we launched a full-time radio network, traveling with the team for a second year. Great partnership with 97.5 The Fanatic. So really excited for the club and for the broadcast department. And I'm privileged to be one of the voices of the team.
How scary was that when they announced the Apple deal? Were you did you feel like your job was in flux, or was there any kind of scare for you?
I think all of us, all of us were. And it happened when we announced it. I remember being on the set post game with JP Dellacamera, and we were all just like, I can't believe this is coming to an end on local TV. I thought that there would be some involvement as it related to me. I just didn't know, quite honestly, what that would be, whether it would be full-time radio play-by-play or doing some work digitally or what. But I think there was a mutual understanding between the two that I still wanted to continue being involved. I'm from the Philadelphia area, grew up in Northeast Philly in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. Played soccer for the Bustleton Bengals and Council Rock.
Look at that.
My first gigs doing play-by-play at Indiana University in Bloomington from the Big Ten was men's and women's soccer at Indiana, very school with very rich tradition in soccer. So when, just timing, right place, right time, when the Union were looking for a voice for their second team, but also trying to build that pregame, halftime, postgame show, stepped in and grateful to be a part of the journey.
Yeah, it is interesting because I know, and we were talking about it a little bit before the show even began, there are so many changes happening right now in soccer. And I see it with even the NWSL broadcast that I do. I see it in the MLS where there's more access. There's more TV deals. There's more sponsorships. There's more that's growing the game. But on the other side of it, it's taking away from some of the bread and butter of what really helped in terms of the local sports coverage, local feeds in general, where you have people like yourself that grew up in the area or have such a fond connection that are a part of it. And I'm guilty of this myself because now I'm a part of the NWSL does the same thing. It's just all these broadcasters that are, remote possibly from afar that are covering a team, but don't have that same connection, the same roots, and even the same passion that maybe someone like yourself brings to a Union broadcast. So it's interesting. I feel like it's for the better to have, more opportunities. Apple TV, we're seeing more just networks in general that are investing in soccer. But then on the other side, it's like a double-edged sword, essentially.
I'm right there with you. I think one of the good things that Apple and MLS Season Pass did was providing the local radio call over the
that.
pictures on TV, so folks can listen to if I do the games with Sebastian Letou or Shane and Williams
Right.
on the call over the live, the Apple TV product, but get our local call. So it gives our Union flavor. They're doing that for home games. They were supposed to do that for road games this year, giving the fans a road radio option. That's not the case. So, we tell our folks, if you want the local call, tune in on the radio, and you can tune in on many ways, obviously on the air, online, on the app, etc. And I will say that, yes, I'm a guy that likes. That's a whole nother conversation that we had off the air with streaming, which we don't need to get into. But I will say this: I just want access for everybody to take in the Union product and watch it grow. So in addition to if you want the streaming service of Apple TV, it's there for you.
Exactly.
But if you want some of the local call and we'll document stuff. I'm at training several times a week. I'm watching the guys, talking to coaches, talking to players, talking to staff, and I want that some of that information that's pertinent to get out over the air so our fans know that, and also giving great coverage. And you both know, as a young broadcaster who has a number of years already under his belt across many different sports and networks, I take it very, very seriously. And I want to now that I'm doing radio for the Union, I want to paint that detailed picture. It's not just about these awesome, exhilarating goal calls. It's sometimes the nuances of play-by-play that people don't think about. Am I starting the game right? Am I getting this sub on time? Is my identification spot? Am I on top of the play? Am I a little bit behind? Can I be a little bit more descriptive there? So again, just really love doing radio's the purest form of broadcasting to me. I do them both actively. I think, as you both know, doing radio and network TV. So just love what I have with the Union here.
We all silly like the mayor.